What's happening, tabletop gamers? My name is LeunameGames and welcome back to LeunameGames Boxes. Today, we're going to be taking a look at King of the Creepies by Jon Cohn and published by IDW Games and Keyhole Games. Let's go ahead and have a look at the back of the box here. After a vicious battle, only 2 gladiators remain in the arena. Today, everyone will remember the name Hannibal the Cannonball. Even though your health is low, you are confident. You are a fearless ball of sharp-toothed rage. Your opponent plays spikes everywhere, to try and eliminate you in one shot. Unfortunately for them, you have I'm Rubber. Your glue already set as a trap. In one fell blow, you crush their last hope for victory. The crowd begins to roar, but you can barely hear it. All you care about is the victory crystal. One more, you think. One more is all you can think about, and you can finally call yourself the King of the Creepies. Well, that doesn't really help us figure out what the game is about, does it? Which means there's only one way to find out what this game is. So with all that said, let's have a look and see. What does King of the Creepies have to offer us? The game comes with a set of player boards, and they are double-sided, which makes absolutely no sense to me because the player boards are exactly the same on both sides. Each board has a track of how many crystals you got and how much health you have, along with a various sections to put cards. I am glad to say, though, it is easy to read all these. It is easy to understand everything. There's a nice little summary of everything, and that's very easy to see, which is nice. And also, the tracks come with a set of blue and red tokens that you'll use to keep track of your health and your crystals respectively. And they're nice wooden discs, I guess. And I think if you are colorblind, you shouldn't have too much of an issue. Just imagine that the lighter one goes for the health and the darker one goes for crystals. Which makes sense. Blue, crystal, red, health. There is a whole bunch of coins, each in denominations of 1, 5, and 10. And I can say, thankfully, they are easy to tell apart. The numbers are easy to see. Not sure why they decided to include some of the punch board in the background of the coin, but thankfully these are nice and thick little pieces, so you're not going to have to worry about bending them by accident. There's a whole bunch of really tiny stat tokens that can either increase or decrease your stats when doing something, and they are in denominations of 1 and 2, in plus and minus, and they are double-sided. And so you don't need to really worry too much about running out of a certain type, which is very nice. Not sure why they decided to make them eensy teensy tiny. We have a whole bunch of red dice that come with the game, and the dice are ingrained with their pips, which is very nice. That means they're going to last a lot longer. And they're red and white, so it is easy to see them, regardless of whether you are colorblind or not. There's a deck of cards here with a little troll on the back here that are mischief cards, and you can tell they're mischief cards because they decided to write mischief at the top of every card on the back. I mean, I don't really have a problem with that if you want them for the sake of being clear, and thankfully the text on the cards is very clear. You shouldn't have any trouble seeing what any of this is, which is very nice. Similar to the mischief cards, there are some crystals here, and these are actually goals, so this is one of the ways that you can actually get crystals to try to win the game. And just like the mischief cards, thankfully, even though I'm not sure why they decided to write the name of the thing on the top up in the middle, but thankfully it's easy to see, as well as the card text themselves and what you need to do in order to complete them. So that's very nice. And I actually gotta say, nice artwork on the back. We have a deck of the Creepies themselves, and these are basically what's going to be fighting in the game. And it looks like these are all just like parodies of popular characters from modern society. I mean, just look at this Hannibal the Cannonball, then the Goblin Queen, Derpules. So that's kind of cute, and if I'm being completely honest. And each of these also has a couple stats here. They have some health, they have attack, defense, speed, and ability. And they also have what looks like a special ability that they have that triggers at a certain time. And I can say, thankfully, that the abilities text and the stats text are actually pretty easy to see, so you shouldn't have any issues with that. We have a deck of what may seem familiar to some of you all, but these are actually ability cards, and these are basically what you'll be using, by the looks of it, to actually do the actual fighting once you get into the fighting. And basically these are just like a little title and just an ability that's a one-time thing by the looks of it, with a symbol in the top right corner, the top left corner on some of these. And thankfully, I can say that the text there is pretty easy to see, which is nice. The artwork is okay, I suppose. I had nothing really against this as a whole cartoony style thing. Yeah, some of it actually kind of looks kind of funny. Especially this guy, he's just breathing electricity or something like that. Why does that remind me of somebody? And then lastly in this is a deck of various items. These are things that players can get in the game, whether it's an item itself or a piece of gear that can help their creepy win fights. And I think it's pretty easy to tell each one apart, thankfully. There is a little bar on here that says, that basically distinguishes which is which, as well as the name of each one shown in the top left corner. So if you are colorblind, you can just look at the top left to figure out which one is which. That's a very nice touch. And also, the text on these are also pretty easy to see, which is nice. So you shouldn't have too much issues there. Artwork, same thing. Nothing against or really for this style. But if it's your kind of art, then hey, you might like it. So that is everything you will get if you obtain King of the Creepies. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to learn how to play King of the Creepies, or if you want to learn my thoughts on it, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more tutorials, reviews, and unboxings. Thank you all as always so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.